What is up, YouTube? It's MetroGame75 here today to play Sakura Alien Part 3. So right now, we're going to get started, but if you don't hear my mic within this video because I am back in my doors right now because there's going to be like a lot of noise. So yeah, it's going to be like, there might be some noise where you don't hear me just reading. So let's get started. That sounds good. See to it that you do. I will. I promise I'll only unclothe myself in front of you, and only when we're alone together. That should assuage all your concerns. Yes, that sounds good. Thank you for your wait, what? That's part of the problem, Anna. You shouldn't be stripping naked around anybody, not even me. Huh? But you said it was alright if I got naked in your abode. It is alright, marginally, I guess, but you shouldn't do it when I'm around. Have some sense of shame. I am not ashamed of my body. I do not care if you want to look at it. In fact, I will be happy to show it off to you. Are you happy? Are you not happy, Haru? That's the whole problem, you dummy. I groaned and then pinched the bridge of my nose between my thumb and forefinger. I could feel a headache coming in. You're going to make me too happy. Is there such a thing? I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to find out. Either if I stand here around here too long, I think my nose will start bleeding. You do whatever it is you have to do in the tub, alright? I'll go prepare my futon. What? And his face falls. But I was hoping to speak to you. We can speak later when you got some clothes on. In your state, you're a real health hazard. I turned my back on Anna despite her protest and shut the bathroom door behind me. Now back in the main room of my apartment, I sigh and look and sink to the ground. I can feel my heart pounding a mile a minute through the fabric of my shirt. It feels like it might explode. I knew Anna was spacey, but I didn't realize she was quite this careless. I'm afraid if we continue cohabiting like this, she really will be the death of me. This living arrangement is willingly years of my life expectancy here. I feel exhausted, but I reflect with a small smile. I don't necessarily regret what I saw. I never seen a woman like that outside images on the internet and pages in erotic magazines. I never knew how soft real women's bodies were. It's been quite the eye-opening experience. Still, I'd be better served not dwelling on it. I need to excise the image of the wet, unclothed Anna from my mind quickly, as a shrine maiden might ward off an evil spirit. Oh man. Otherwise, I'm afraid I'll never be able to look at Anna in the eye again. That's tall enough in order as it is, given how well developed her chest is. I thought she was busted after seeing her in that suit, but in the nude. Jeez, what am I thinking? The heart must have been gotten to my head. I really need to pull myself together. Oh boy, I gotta get her mind out of the gutter into the summer. Half an hour later. What do you think? Will you be able to sleep like this? Oh yes, I think I should think so. I should think so. The shirt of yours is very comfortable, darling. Thank you for letting me borrow it. You're incredibly thoughtful. It's no problem, really. You don't need to thank me. I know I don't need to, but I want to regardless. That is a custom upon your planet, is it not? I've heard you Earthlings are polite, particularly those who reside in Japan. Yeah, I guess that stereotype does hold some water. Offer Anna a smile. Then I will accept your thanks. Really though, I think as I look Anna up and down, I'm the one who should be thanking her. After finishing her bath, Anna changed into one of my old button-up shirts, which will serve for tonight as her pajamas. Though the shirt suits me like a glove, I'm a good head taller than Anna, and it swamps her slender frame. Fabric bunches up about Anna's elbows, and then the hem of the shirt cascades well past her thighs. That's probably a good thing. Anna eschewed the pants I gave her. She said they were too uncomfortable, so she bare legged. I'm not sure if she's wearing panties under there either. Not that I want to check. I bet Anna will show me if I ask. She's shown me an awful lot of her body already. I'm trying to kill my lascivious thoughts. They'll make it hard to get an eye shut. Any shut eye. Still, I can't deny Anna does look good. Her hair still is damp from the bath, and dark patches of moisture form about the shoulders of my shirt. Her face is faintly flushed too, and a fresh clean scent of soap emanates from her. Oversized though my shirt it can't conceal the contours of Anna's breasts. Her figure is really amazing, you know? Any guy would be over the moon to have a girlfriend like this. Especially if said girlfriend wanted to stay the night at his place. Not that Anna's my girlfriend, of course. She might be determinedly addressing me as me darling, but I do not return her feelings, whatever they are. I've grown fond of her, I suppose, but that's not the same as love. Neither is lust. She's attractive, but Haru? Anna appears at me with the same curiosity she directed an hour earlier to my electric outlets. Is something the matter? You have been staring at me rather intensely. I hope I have not done anything to displease you. What? Oh no. I pushed aside Anna's concerns with a wave of my right hand. I need to make an effort to look unmoved by all this. Even if my face is feeling suspiciously hot. It's fine, you're fine. She's better than fine. In fact, I'm just tired, that's all. I'm starting to space out. I think I need my rest. As I do, I have been awfully busy of late. It is not often that I escape from the palace and flee to another planet. I can't imagine it would be. Yeah, it sounds pretty stressful. It was at this time, but I'm glad I was able to endure. Revi helped me a good deal. If I had not persevered, I never would have met you. After all, I really am fortunate sitting here in your apartment speaking to you. Yeah, you let me bath my weary body, and now I'm even wearing your clothes. I am surrounded by your scent. It feels like you are embracing me. Giggling girlishly, Anna winds her arms about her waist. I have never been happier. I'm glad to hear it. It'd be awfully if you hated here. After coming all this way, I bet you feel like a massive waste of a trip. This is one way of looking at it, I suppose. In truth, I could not return to Corvo even if I wish. Not right now, at least not. I no longer have my ship. I remember you say it broke apart. Indeed, the pieces burned up when I entered the planet's atmosphere. Does that mean you trap here then? Not necessarily. I can communicate with my whole planet using the technology installed in my power suit. It is very durable. If I wanted, I could contact Revi and she could come and retrieve me in her ship. Revi is a very talented pilot. I do not wish for that though. There is much I still wish to experience upon your planet, and it looks at me from beneath her eyelashes. Her lips curl into a smile. There is much I wish to do with you. I'm flattered. I glance away, one hand buried in my hair. I guess it's hard being a princess, huh? Indeed it is. It is awfully stuffy. I was not able to do anything I wanted. Eyes were on me at all times, and there were so many rules. This is so much more enjoyable. There are rules on Earth too. Strange ones about how many clothes one should wear and what kind, but I do not mind them. I can bear with it if you promise you stay with me. Of course, you got nobody else on this planet other than Hiyori and I, so I'll stay with you. I can even show you around if you want to. I don't mind. Thank you, I'm looking forward to it. Anna exhales and lies back in her futon. She curls up on her side. Her mint green hair strewn across the covers and smiles at me sleepily. I cannot wait for tomorrow. The sun cannot rise quickly enough. I am sure we'll have a good time together. Oh yeah? I lie back in my futon, pulling the covers over me and look at Anna askance. How can you be so sure about that? It is a foregone conclusion, darling. How could I not have a good time while with you? I really do love you, you know. Anna's gentle laughter soon transmutes into a soft, regular sound of breathing. Her eyelashes fall shut, casting shadows against her smooth cheeks. It looks like she's already fallen asleep. That was pretty fast. Not that I can blame her. She's been through a lot. Her fortitude is impressive, really. I observe her as I do, so I find I can't help but smile. So she loves me, huh? It's fast development. Almost unnatural, but her confession stirs something with me regardless. Is there any chance that I might someday return her feelings? It's not beyond the realms of the possibility. I'll just have to see what tomorrow holds. A yawn wrenches into its way from my own throat. I close my eyes, my last manic together, as soon as I too succumb to my own sleepiness. The next day. That was one of the best sleep cycles I've experienced in a good long while. I feel very well rested now. What of you, Haru? Are you ready for another day upon your wonderful planet? He's still sleeping. Haru, what did you just say? Still sleeping. I wonder what could it mean? Is this something a matter of code? Are you attempting to communicate sensitive data to me in an encrypted fashion so it will not be compromised? Again, I wonder what it could mean. It is quite peculiar that you are making such noise with your eyes closed. I wonder, are you responsive, Haru? Again, is that a genuine response, or is Haru making these noises inadvertently? Perhaps I should take it as a natural function of an earthling's body, much like breathing. I am beginning to wonder whether he means to speak to me, why he looks as though he is still asleep. Will you not wake up, darling? The ball of gas in the sky, which you humans can call the sun, has risen. The room is full of light, and outside I can hear twittering of the warm-blooded avian life forms you call birds. I believe they are telling you to arise. As I am, I wish to go outside and explore more of your planet. Will you not wake up, darling? Darling. Oh no. Oh my. I suppose it is no good. He is impervious, both to my voice and my touch. He must have been even more exhausted than I am to sleep for such a great length of time. That or humans more delicate than I thought. I not want to be late to meet Hiyori, but my darling does look very cute when he slumbers so. I feel very blessed to have witnessed such a sight. He is vulnerable in a state so very delicate. His eyelashes are so long and his lips, they look very kissable. Imagine she could probably kiss him when he's sleeping. I would like to help myself, but perhaps that is breach of human etiquette. I cannot say for certain. There's still so much I need to study. Oh, I know. While my darling says I should use this as an opportunity to familiarize myself with the Earth and with the interests of its inhabitants, that will help me blend in. My darling must be a wise man, for his shelves are full of books. I shall help myself. Now let me see, what is this? All these books appear to be about the stars and the ones on these shelves. I know much about the stars already. Having come from space, these books will not help at all. I had to find material more pertinent to earthly concerns. Perhaps my darling has more books in his closet. There are fewer books in here than there were on the shelves, but oh my. These appear to be books, though they are of a different kind to others I have seen thus far. There are strange women on the covers, wearing very little. I thought my daughter said last night that going on clothes was considered proper among his people. I wonder why these women are allowed to pose so. Is it more acceptable to depict nakedness in the books than it is to go naked in real life? Let me see what else this book contains. Oh no, she's reading the hentai books. Oh my. This is not a book with words. It's full of a set of photos of all women. They're all posed in such intricate manners. I can see so much skin. I wonder, could my daughter be interested in such affairs? Would he like it if I enact some of the scenes I can see in this book upon him? Certainly that should rouse him from his slumber. Perhaps we'll try it. If nothing else, it will serve to strengthen our bonds. I want to show my darling how much I care for him. What better way to do that than to cater to his desires? I hope you are prepared, darling. I'm going to make all your dreams come true. Oh boy. Well, that was a disaster. Ah, jeez. I muttered darkly to myself as I walked down the street alongside Enna. It's been about half an hour since Enna's rather unconventionally wake-up call, and I'm still reeling from it. As if Enna's good morning kiss, shall we say, wasn't bad enough, I also had the pleasure of being raked over the coals of my jealous housemate. Koichi didn't catch the pair of us in the act, thank goodness, but he did overhear the suspect noises that emitted from my room. He had the audacity not to barge in, and I was cleaning up, but once I was dressed and left the room, Enna in tow, he descended upon me. What the hell is going on in there, man? What are you doing so early in the morning on a weekend? And hey, what the hell? Who's this chick and what's with her getup? You weren't making up her dress in a weird outfits to satisfy your fetishes, aren't you? Is it Hiyori enough for you? Are you trying to screw up every single girl you meet? And real life isn't a visual novel. Damn! Fucking Hiyori was right. That's how my very one-sided talk with Koichi went, more so or less. he did not seem very happy. Both being waking so early that, and my luck with the ladies. I sigh. I'm lucky. I guess Kyoichi was the only one who heard us. I think Daigo and Kosuke must have slept through that confrontation, though how they managed that, I didn't know. I don't know. I was expecting to be quiet, neither was Kosuke when he clapped his eyes on Enna. Then again, Daigo did sleep once through a magnitude 5 earthquake. If Enna is since on remaining at my place, I guess I'll have to introduce her formally to the other guys at some point, but that can wait for later. Man can sleep through an earthquake? That's crazy. You'd be dead if that whole house collapsed. For now, Enna is in dire need of some clothes that aren't molded to her body. She's attracting quite a few funny looks as she walks down the street, barefoot, her green hair switching around her shoulders. What's a pain this all is? The instigator of my current problems at last seems blissfully unaware of the chaos she's causing. Anna's busy humming cheerfully, her eyes bright like gems. She drinks in the sights like a tourist, turning her head this way and that to take in all the apartments and the street lamps and the utility poles. I don't live in a particular nice area of Tokyo. It's all quite run down. Really, a rough neighborhood like this was the only one I could afford. There's nothing that all attracts about our immediate surroundings, but Anna seems enchanted. Hey, I called to Anna from a few paces behind, hands jamming in my pockets. Are you enjoying the sights? Oh yes, very so much. This place is nothing like Corval. In what way? In every way conceivable way. The architecture is completely different, and we don't have all these funny poles growing out of the ground. The sky in Corval is red, not blue, and we have 2 suns, and is it far hotter, drier too. Our grounds are not hard like this. Beneath the feet, most Corval surface is covered in sand. What, she lives on Mars? It is colder here too, and the people here wear strange clothes. They are allowed. They are almost covered from tip to toe. It is all strange very to me. I guess it would be if you used a hot climate like that. I frowned thoughtfully. Part of me wishes Anna wouldn't stare at me, at everything, and more importantly, everyone we pass so unbashfully. It is a bit embarrassing being saddled with a girl who's making her otherness so apparent. I can't fault her for enthusiasm, though this is the first time Anna had a proper look at Tokyo streets. She walked back home with me last night, sure, but it was dark then, and she was tired. She didn't get a good look at the buildings or the stores or the cats. There weren't many people outside then, either. This must be a huge culture shock to Anna, but she doesn't seem at all overwhelmed. She looks excited instead. Every little thing prompts from her a squeal of delight. I never thought of this part of Tokyo. It's all that much to look at myself, but... Oh goodness me. Look at this small cute animal. We do not have these on Corval, though I am familiar with them in theory. This is what humans call a cat, is it not? It is so cute. Do you think I can pet it? I would very much like to become friends. As I watch Anna, I feel my grumpiness begin to fade. She might have gotten me into an awkward situation this morning, sure, but I don't think she's intended that. I don't think Anna has a weak bone in her body. If indeed she has bones, I'm not sure about inner workings of being from Corval, but I don't want to find out in a hurry. If I find space interesting, but I have no desire to dissect its inhabitants to further my understanding of its vastness. Here, kitty, come here. I promise I will not hurt you. I wish only to see how your fur feels. I am sure it must be very soft. You really are lovable. And this smile is so warm it thaws out my heart. It can't thaw out my fingers at last, which are freezing, or the tip of my nose, but I feel contented, I guess. She caused me a bunch of problems, and I'm sure she'll cause a bunch of more problems in the future, but look, darling, the cat is letting me stroke him. He really letting me stroke him. He really is soft, just as I suspect. His green eyes are so cute, and his little ears. Oh, and his tail. Look how it twitches. What a curious creature. Can we keep him, darling? Please, please, please? I think I'm glad I met Anna. She's such a sweetheart. It's not hard not to feel in happy in her presence. I can't help but smile, despite my residential fatigue and the chill wind that buffets me. Though there is something I feel I must mention before Anna gets her hopes up too high. You can pet that cat as much as you want, but we can't take it back with us. Huh? Anna pouts. Why not? For one, our apartment doesn't allow pets, and for another, Kyoichi is allergic. I wouldn't want to risk killing my housemate. And looks back to the black cat, which she's been petting, her head tilted askance. Are cats dangerous? They can be if you're allergic to them. I mean, they don't mean to be dangerous, of course. It's just an unfortunate thing that can happen. Oh, I see. That sounds awfully sad. I would hate to make people ill simply by existing, but do not worry, Mr. Kitty. Anna rubs the cat behind the ears, which prompts it to meow contentedly. I thought I should pause to pet you whenever our paths cross. You have not seen the last of me. You are so very lovely. I cannot keep away from you. I love you, and I love this planet, and I love its people, and I love you too, darling. And looks back at me, flashing a mouthful of white pearly teeth. I want to stay here forever and ever. And as instant declaration pierces my heart, I feel my cheeks begin to turn pink despite the chill weather, and I have to drop my gaze to the feet. Kimmy, Anna, she really is adorable. She is adorable, man. Oh, yes. Burgers. Hi, you two, long time no see. Hiyori greets Anna and I enthusiastically once we enter the line of sight. Hiyori's short, choppy hair is braided at the sides as per usual, and she's wearing a gray coated layer over her pastel pink sweater and navy skirt. She looks rather snug in the coat, given its fluffy collar. Certainly she looks snugger than Anna, who's still wearing her skin-tight bodysuit. Hiyori gives Anna once over her arms linked behind her back, and blinking curiously, she says, "Goodness, that attire isn't practical. Aren't you cold, Anna?" "It's alright. This suit of mine is made with cutting-edge Corvin technology. It has sensors built to read my body temperature, which in turn adjusts the levels of heat outputted by the suit. It's actually rather warm." "Really? That's so interesting. Can I feel it?" "Go right ahead." Smiling, Anna holds out an arm of Hiyori's inspection. Hiyori's slender fingers win about Anna's wrist. She squeezes it as though searching for a pulse that grabs. "You're right, the suit does feel very warm. I think it might be even cozier than my coat. I told you so." Smiling, Anna tries to get her arms free from Hiyori's grip, then takes a knee step backwards. "I feel just fine. The climate upon this planet may be dissimilar to what I am accustomed to, but my suit can adjust it to it. Corporate technology is made to the lash and is awfully adaptive. This suit is constructed from polyfibers that should last for at least a century without sustaining any wearing and tear, even if I were to use it all day." Anna does a neat twirl on the spot like a ballerina. Arms outstretched, her long hair fans out around her, calling the chilly wintry breeze. "I could wander the streets like this all day. I'm happy to hear that." Hiyori beams. Now that I know your suit is that impressive, it makes me wonder whether we need to buy you any new clothes at all. I'm afraid the manufacturing process on Earth can't compare to your technology. Your suit sounds much more practical than my coat. It might be more practical if we're talking purely about keeping warm, but it's absolutely impractical for day-to-day wear. We've been getting all kinds of funny since we were off this morning, and I don't want Anna to stand out too much. That is a good point. We don't want to draw suspicion towards her. The last thing I want for you is to be taken away to a laboratory and dissected. Anna sees her twirling and looks Hiyori, her eyes wide. "Could that really happen?" "I'm not entirely sure. It happens a lot to aliens in movies, but you're not much like an alien that gets depicted in movies. You look like an ordinary girl for the most part." I like to think our government would feel guilty about cutting you up, but well, humans can be awfully xenophobic. If they are willing to harass those they presume to belong to their own species, I try to think that what they might do to an extraterrestrial. Hiyori shudders, though I don't think this can be attributed to the cold, but Hiyori is such a cheery person. By nature, it's strange to see her around, and indeed looks so serious. I wonder if she's speaking from the past experience. Though I've spent several months in Hiyori's company, As a fellow member of the astronomy club, I know very little about her past. She's almost never talks about it, save I guess her assertions that she's from another planet. She certainly acts like at times, but I've never given her claims much credence. Did she stress this point back when she was in high school too? If so, I wouldn't be surprised if she got bullied. It seems inevitable. Really, Yuri is a bit of a weirdo, but I don't think that excuses any potential harassment she might have suffered. Teenagers can really be cruel. I'm tempted to ask Yuri about this, but well, don't worry, Anna. Haru and I are with you, and we'll make sure that doesn't come to pass. I promise we'll take good care of you. Nobody will take you away to any scary facility, not on my watch. I'll blend in, or my name isn't Akasakin. Hiyori. Yay, thank you, Hiyori. You are very kind to me. Of course, we are friends after all. As fellow aliens, we have to stick together. Now, why don't we start shopping? Your suit is very impressive piece of technology, but Haru is right now. You really do need some human clothes. It'll be no easy feat to showcase all of your charms, Anna, but don't worry, big sis Hiyori got this. You can rely on me. Aw, yes. Later that day. Alright, this looks good to me. Hey, Haru. Hiyori pokes her head out from behind the curtains of the fitting room, a mischievous smile playing about her lips. I ready to see Anna in her brand new look. This outfit looks very dope if I do say so myself. Oh, are you done? I sigh in relief. Thank goodness. I've been waiting outside the fitting rooms for what seems a small eternity, aimlessly scrolling through my phone. I never knew there was so much truth to the stereotype that a woman can take so long for clothes and shopping. A quick glance at my phone tells me it's been 2 hours, give or take, since Hiyori, Anna, and I entered this department store. Hiyori guided Anna around, pointing out various bits and pieces she thought were particularly cute, while I trailed along behind them. Being an average guy without an eye for fashion, I was content to let Hiyori call all the shots during Operation Outfit Anna. I found the whole process pretty tedious, if I'm being honest, but I guess it was nice watching two girls bond over flouncy skirts and button-up shirts. Every once in a while, Hiyori turned to me and asked my opinion about a particular printed skirt or the neckline of a shirt, but I doubt my replies were all that helpful. I'm of the opinion that Anna cute enough to make any outfit work. I just want to see her dressed in something less ostentatious than her sci-fi suit. Now that at long last, it looks like Hiyori's finally finished styling Anna. With a bit of luck, I'll soon be free from this department store and the buddy pop songs that I've been playing incessantly over the speakers. If I have to listen to one more song by Aiku Ayu, I think I'll tear myself down off. You got Aiku Ayu, for those who remember from Sakura's Succubus, this character. What does Anna look like then? I'm curious. I know you be. I'm sorry it took so long to pick something out, but, well, you can't rush perfection. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I think I did a powerful job putting this ensemble together. I'm sure she'll take your breath away. Ho ho ho. Those are some pretty confident words. Now I'm really invested. As you should be, just feast your eyes on this. Hiro draws back at the curtains that separate the fitting room from cubicle from the waiting area with a dramatic flourish to reveal... Whoa! Oh, thick thighs. Hello again, Haru. It feels like it has been quite some time since I last saw your face. Why, I think it has been 22 or your earthing minutes or 13 earthing seconds exactly. I hope you can forgive me. These clothes Hiyori chose for me are awfully curious. They are nothing like I have seen before, witnessed on Corvo, or during my brief stint upon this planet. They are much breezier than my power suit, and they do little to keep out the cold air, but Hiyori assured me they were very fashionable. What do you think? Well, I said Anna struck dumb. She's not wearing her skirt, skin-tight suit anymore, at least. I'm not entirely convinced that her current getup is much of an improvement. Anna's wearing a frilly white blouse with short sleeves that grapes open in the front, which are secured by crisscrossing strips of fabric. The shirt is clinched shut about the neck with a red ribbon, which I suppose adds a degree of cuteness to it. But really, that shirt is bizarre. It might have been too out of place on a runway, filled with zany high fashion pieces, but it's no intended for daily wear. The high-waisted skirt the shirt's been paired with is fine, I guess, but even that seems a bit too short and a bit too tight to be uncomfortable. I think she looks attractive, but I mean, won't people think she's a weirdo if she walks around like that? Won't other guys stare if she walks around like that? But I can't quite, for reasons I can't quite fathom, I don't like the thought of Anna drawing too much male attention. And all of a sudden, Piquia possessiveness, I cannot help but to think of her as my alien. Hey Anna, are you alright wearing that? I will admit, it's quite different from what I am used to. I'll say the gapping from her shirt almost makes Anna's suit look tame. But I rather enjoy experiencing new things. I did not get much of a chance to partake in other cultures in Corvo. I was not often allowed to leave the palace. I dressed as my parents desired and had to be on my best to be here at all times. Sheesh. Just like a kid. This is very liberating. You humans have so many choices in all facets of your life, from your itineraries to your attires. So what do you think, darling? Do you think these clothes will help fit me in? I really wonder about that. Crap, I can't stop myself from staring at Anna's chest. I always knew she was well endowed, but this shirt really shows off her goods. It leaves almost nothing to the imagination. Did Hiyori pick this scanty shirt out on purpose to tease me? Is this supposed to be some kind of jokes? Are you serious about making Anna wear this, Hiyori? Well, why not? I think it looks adorable. Hiyori beams curiously as though unaware of how provocative Anna looks. I am not confident enough in my body to wear an outfit like this. Personally, I'm a bit too squished to pull it off and not in the right places. I'm also too short. My legs are all stumpy. Anna, meanwhile, is proportioned like a fashion model. She has such lovely long legs, and she's so slender. If anybody can pull off a suffocated sexy look like this, she can, for sure. If she's so cute, it would be a crime if she didn't buy this outfit. I should take a photo so I can commemorate this moment for prosperity. Hiyori begins a snapshot of Anna on her phone, while Anna smiles bashfully. It's nice to see those two getting on, I guess, but Anna might be cute, but I think it would be more of a crime if she does go outside in that outfit. That shirt is no way stable. She's one misstep away from a severe wardrobe malfunction, and it's not properly insulated. Corvo is desert planet. Remember, she's not used to the cold. I don't want to getting her sick. Oh, right. Hiyori put her phone back in her skirt pocket, then giggles. I didn't think of that. I was so excited about dressing up, and my common sense must have fled me. And evidently, I sigh. Hiyori claims to have common sense, even if it's a best sentai, but I often find myself wondering. She's such a ditz. Maybe I was wrong for entrusting Anna's new wardrobe to Hiyori. I try to think what future fashion disasters she might come up with. Let's find a sensible outfit for her. She needs some warm pieces to keep out the cold, like sweaters and pants and the like. We should probably get her a coat too in case it snows. Snows? And it looks at me curiously. What is that? It happens when it gets really cold and the water vapor turns into ice crystals. It falls from the sky and turns the ground white. It's pretty, but it's not something you want to brave without being covered up. Oh, that really does sound incredible. I would love to see that. I'd love to show it to you too, but not while you're dressed like that. So yeah, this outfit's no good. It's definitely no good. Being the one in this group with anything even approaching insight is quite the burden. I try to think how Anna would have ended up if Hiyori had been left to her own devices. Now, that's a scary thought. Sometimes later, thank you for helping me choose an outfit, Hiyori. I think this looks really nice. It's no problem. It's to be expected, really. Any outfit would look good on you. Your figure's incredible. Oh no, you're flattering me. I was always told to eat more back on Corvo, my parents were forever saying I'm too skinny. Really, I think you look perfect. They're trying to make her extra thick. Probably her mom's like that too. By earthly standards, maybe not by those of my home planet. Oh well. Anna beams full of the joys of spring. It's being winter notwithstanding, as she does a neat 360-degree spin on the spot. Her long mint green hair flutters about her in the cold breeze, and her skirt shifts about her thighs. So what do you think, darling? Do you like it? I look up and down, my arms folded. The outfit Hiyori chose for her after much deliberation fairly is conservative, certainly more so than the frilly nightmare she cajoled Anna into back in the fitting room. This is the much more sustainable for the wintry chill. It conceals a fair bit of flesh, which should keep Anna warm and toasty. Clad in a thickly knitted woolen turtleneck with striped sleeves, which Hiyori has paired with a wine red dress. The dress itself is fairly short, but Anna's legs are clad in thick, opaque pantyhose to offset the cold. I don't know much about women's clothes, but I think the ensemble suits Anna. Then again, as Hiyori said, I think almost anything would suit her. Now Anna's not wearing her strange latex spacesuit. I can take a proper look at her without feeling the need to avert my eyes. She looks good in the suit too, of course. I think I prefer this more homey apparel. I think you look great, Anna. It's very cute, really. Anna smile widens, if such a thing, if possible. She looks like she's glowing. Thank you so much. That's very sweet of you to say. I do not think I've ever been happier than I am at this moment. Anna's enthusiasm must be contagious, because I find myself smiling too. I'm a bit tired after being dragged around so many shops, and I can't pretend that I myself, while waiting outside the fitting rooms for whatever felt like forever, but Anna's smile makes all my accumulated fatigue melt away. It's hard to be in a bad mood when I'm with her. She perks my spirit up within seconds. Hey, Hiyori, can we explore the city? Tokyo seems a very interesting place. It is so vast and sprawling, quite unlike Corvo. Now I am dressed for the occasion. I want to take in all the sights. But of course, I was going to suggest that myself. I don't think we'll be able to see all the sights. Tokyo's awfully big after all, but we can make a decent stab at it. Stab? And her brows furrow. Why would we wish to stab anything? That seems rather violent. I do not want to get blood upon my new clothes, even if my dress is red. It might not show the stains, but it will be awfully be a waste. Oh no, that's not what I meant. We won't actually be stabbing anybody. That would be a surefire way to get on the police bad side. I hate for you to end your first full day on this planet in a prison cell. That simply won't do. Ah, yes, the police. We have them quarreled too. They're sure that nobody's breaking the rules. I would want to make an enemy of them. They carry less laser guns that can atominize body parts in less than a second. Laser guns? Huh, that sounds like something ripped straight from the Sky novel. Then again, I guess Anna's whole existence is rather sky-fired. Her being an alien and all, we're not going to run to a police at all. So it's a moot point, but they don't carry laser guns here. Nobody's going to atomize you, no matter what happens. Oh, thank goodness. That is a relief. As a princess, I was under certain protections. I've never have been atomized on Corvo, but I am not on the Corvo any longer. I am no longer a prisoner on this planet. I am just Anna. I have lost all my privileges. But that means I am also far, far freer. Now I can go wherever I want and do what I want. I cannot wait. Neither can I. I love showing people around. Just leave the interior up to Big Sis Hiyori. We're going to have the blast. Anna, Hiyori, and I maneuver about the city for a while, stepping into the random stores and later grabbing a bite to eat. We do this for several hours until we wind up at a batting center. As for how we ended up here, well, Anna saw the batting center as we walked through the streets and excited as Hiyori what it was. Intrigued by the concept of baseball, what a novel! I did not know hitting balls with wooden bats as an activity worthy such of laudation. Anna then asked if she could try it out for herself. Hiyori and I capitulated her to her, and now we're in the batting center. Anna, as transpires, isn't very good at baseball. Her hand-eye... Oh boy. Leaves a lot to be desired, and during her first few pitches, she was even holding the bat the wrong way around. I'm not a sports buff myself either. I find any physical exercise beyond my daily commute to university a pain. I'm not a physics nerd though, through and through, not a pro athlete. Physical education was actually my least favorite lesson back in high school. I was one of the very worst in my class. My classmates used to rip me for that one regular basis. They thought it was funny, so I was defiant given how tall I am. A lot of the girls in my class rather ran faster than I do. Harry, however, proves to be a big surprise. She's far, far better at baseball than I ever would imagine. She hits every single ball that pitch at her by the automatic machine, while breaking a sweat. The expression on her face watered my easy confidence. Ooh. Take this. Bat in hand, Hori swings it at the encroaching ball. The bat hits the ball with a satisfying thud, then shoots through the sky like a projectile. I was watching its ascent, then descent, one hand held to my eyes to blot out the wintry sunshine. Then the ball lands a few hundred feet away, bouncing against the turf. I must say, I'm impressed. Whoa, Anna, who's long since tired of trying and failing to hit any of her own home runs, watched this spectacle with wide eyes, her hands clenched at her front. That was incredible, Hiro. I had no idea you were capable of such feats. You humans can do almost anything when you put your minds to it. Truly, you are an impressive species. Oh, it's not that impressive, really. I've always been a fan of baseball, ever since I was a little girl. I'm not all that good at sports. Join the club, but baseball's the one exception. It's special, I suppose. Oh yeah, I can't help but be curious about this. I've known her for a while, but I had no idea she was so good at baseball. I guess there's a lot about it here, I don't know. I never really cared to find out. Despite our supposed friendship, I've always tried to keep my distance. What was that? Calls of me? Oh well, there's no time like that, like the present, to learn a little more about her. Were you part of a club back in school or anything? Oh no, it's nothing like that. I wasn't part of any club in high school. Unless you count the going home club. I never really fit with my peers. I don't think they would have wanted me around. My father, my earth father, that is, likes baseball a lot, though he used to take me to games with him back when I was a child. I have a lot of fond memories of him watching matches with him. I decided to pick up the sport myself, though I didn't have anybody to play with. There was a batting center like this near my parents' home, only 5 minutes walk, that I often stopped by on my commute from school. I wasn't very good at baseball at first, but I eventually got into the swing of it. Hitting the ball with the bat is very satisfying. It is a good way to learn to let off steam. Here he swings the bat again as she speaks, once more hitting a perfect home run. And like that, the ball, as it soars through the sky, looks so free and untamed. I've often wished I could be like the ones of those balls. Hiyori tips her head back, her choppy brown hair sniffing the breeze, to observe the pastel sky. I too want to soar up into the sky someday, out of the atmosphere and the Earth's gravitational pull-up into the recesses of space. I've always felt ever since I was a child that I've never quite belonged here. My real home isn't on this planet. It must be somewhere else, above my head. I wonder where it could be. Hiyori sets her bat down, then exits the batting cage. I guess she must be tired of playing baseball. Not that I can blame her, she has been going at it for a while. Hiyori stretches and looked to Anna. I've been giving it some thought. I've been wondering whether I come from the same planet that you do, Anna. Free from his confines, she then turns to look at Anna, smiling as she does so. I've no way of confirming that, of course, but I think that'd be nice if it were the case. Oh yes, I quite agree. If I had more friends on my home planet, perhaps I too would not have felt compelled to leave. I love Ravi a lot, of course, but you can never have too many companions, particularly kind of ones like you. Thank you. Hearing you say that makes me very happy. Here he giggles. I don't know if I am from Corvo or not. I have no proof either way, but I am sure my real home resides somewhere out there. Probably I have another family who loves me, who are thinking of even me now. They might like baseball like my father does, but I'm sure they have other interests and hobbies. I want to share those interests with them. I would love to know more about them. I am woefully ignorant of my true patronage, but I am surely they exist somewhere out there. They must. After all, Harry looks at Anna, her hands clenched at her front. You came here, Anna, from the stars. Your presence here is proof that aliens do exist somewhere out there. If you came from Earth from a different planet, the same may be true of me. No. Hiyori shakes her head. It must be true. I refuse to believe otherwise. If you feel that strong about it, there must be a grain of truth to it. Nobody knows ourselves better than we do, after all, but be we humans or Corvan. Perhaps I could find you your home planet one day. If ever I'm able to repair my spaceship, that might be fun. Oh yes, I will absolutely love that. Thank you so much, Anna. It's no problem. You and Haru have done so much for me already. You deserve it. It's only polite, or so I have heard, to repay others for their kindness. I press my lips together. I'm glad Hiyori looks so happy, but their instincts about her true origins are starting to protect me. Why is Hiyori so insistent that she comes from another planet? Is being a boring, ordinary earthly not good enough for her? Maybe her high school years have something to do with this. From what little I've gleaned, she didn't have much fun or any friends when she was a student. Isolation can nurture all sorts of strange beliefs in people. This alien skit must be a coping mechanism. I can't take it seriously. Even if Anna is, I don't want to encourage Hiyori either. I just wish she would like herself who she is, rather than who she wants to be. I know that's easier said than done, but I don't think it should be too impossible to an undertaking. I know I like Hiyori. I just the way she is. To such an extent, in fact, I consider her a good friend? Maybe something more. I don't know. A good friend. Maybe more. I never really considered her as a potential girlfriend material before, but her clinginess puts me off. I've seen a new side to her over the last couple of days. She's been so nice and understanding towards Anna. I'm starting to think she might make for a good partner. She's starting to be kind of considerate, plus she's a great cook. Enjoying spending time with her to boot, and I don't want her to be unhappy. I'm starting to think I might like her more than I anticipated, but I'm entirely not sure of my own feelings. As such, it's not like I can blurt them out, not in the middle of the batting center. That just makes things awkward. Human relationships are so complex. I sometimes feel like an alien myself. Now I'm saying it as well. Time passes and the day eventually comes to a close. The pale sinks beneath the horizon, ushering in a dark sky full of stars. Anna, Hiyori, and I were kept busy all day, traipsing about the city to take in the sights. So the soles of my feet hurt from all the walking I've done, and my wallet is similar aching after spending a not insignificant amount of money on various tour traps. I'm pretty tired after the day's events, but I've nothing on Anna. She dashed out her hither and thither like a kitten, and now particularly, though enough she's exhausted. Anna yawns as if to prove my own spoken point, then rests her head against my shoulder. Sleepily, she links her arms through mine, then murmurs, "That was quite the day. I had a good deal of fun. Perhaps I exert myself a bit too much. I must take more care to pace myself in the future, unless I fear I will wear myself out entirely. May I return to your apartment to recuperate now, darling? I could use a rest. You do look sleepy. Certainly having a nap wouldn't be a bad idea, but there's one more thing I would like us to do." Oh, I look at Hiyori's askance. Is there a particular tourist attraction you might want to go to, Hiyori? Not entirely, no. This is purely selfish request, but I have been pondering for several hours now, but I cannot remain quiet. I realize Anna is tired, and I realize this might be a bad timing, but, well, Here inhales, taking in a crisp mouthful of wintry air that says, "Would the pair of you mind coming back to my house? I have warm beverage I can offer you, and my living room is very cozy. I promise to make you feel at home." Your house? Now that's an interesting proposal. I've never actually been to Hiyori's place before. I don't even know what it looks like. I must admit, I'm curious. What prompted this? Oh, it's nothing really. Hiyori demurs, red cheek in a manner that clearly telegraphs she was prompted by something really. Hiyori isn't very good at lying. I just wanted to speak to you about something, Haru. It's not a particularly important matter, but it has been weighing on my mind. It'd be awkward to discuss it out here, though, so... Hiyori looks at me, shy-like, beneath half-lidded eyes. I thought it would be best to speak alone in my living room. Is that no good? Hiyori looks so unusually anxious. I can't help but feel compassionate. I don't want to turn down her offer, but I do wonder. I don't have any problems with that, but what about you, Anna? Would you mind coming with me to Hiyori for a bit? Oh no, I don't mind at all. I too would like to see what your abode is like, Hiyori. I cannot pass up a chance to observe how your Earthlings live. And as you were friends, I would very much like to learn more about you. I would be glad to accept your invitation, although... Anna yawns, yet tears beating in her amber eyes. I fear I might fall asleep once I get there. I hope such behavior wouldn't be too impardonably rude. Oh no, it's quite alright. I'm the one who's being rude, asking you to humor me like this. If you need a rest, I can let you borrow one for the guest bedrooms. My home is rather large. There is no shortage of space. Very well then, I shall look forward to it. Please lead the way. Of course, just follow me. Hiyori turns on her heels and sets off through the streets. I follow after her, a half asleep Anna clings to me, her cheeks resting against my shoulder, and her pale green hair flutters with every step she takes. She looks ready to pass out at any given moment. She seriously pushed herself too hard. But if given a chance to redo today, I doubt Anna would have behaved any different. I know she had a blast. Watching her was enough to pull a smile upon even my grumpy face, but Hiyori's desire for discussion has put something of a damper on my good mood. What exactly does she want us to talk about? I suppose I'll have to find out soon enough. Here we are, home sweet home. So what do the pair of you think? It's not too ostentatious, is it? I don't know if that's quite the word I would use, but I share about Hiyori's living room, momentarily awestruck. Hiyori's house isn't a mansion, but it's definitely on the large side. Her living room is sleek and fancy with several neatly arranged couches and a vast flat-screen TV. With 2 teddy bears up there and a lamp. It's significantly more upscale than my family's home out in the countryside, and it's significantly more modern. This whole house looks like it belongs to a well-upper middle-class family. It's a nice location too. It's a brisk walk from the nearest train station, but it's situated on a quite residential road without much traffic. This area of Tokyo is far more peaceful than the area I live in, and there's way less trash strewn about outside of the sidewalk. These living conditions couldn't be more different from the ones I'm used to. This is kind of crazy. Do you really live here, Yuri? Yes, really. I hardly wandered into the stranger's house by mistake, and I wouldn't rent out a show home to trick you either. That'd be way too much effort to go through for a simple prank. Yeah, I get that. I retrospect that was probably a stupid question, of course. Hiyori lives here. The key wouldn't fit in the lock otherwise. This is still a lot to take in, though. Do you live here on your own? Hiyori nods. My parents don't live in Tokyo. Their home is in Chiba. I know Chiba isn't far away from Tokyo, but my parents, though it'd be inconvenient for me if I had to commute for an hour every single morning. They've always wanted to give me the best possible start in life, or so they say. Rent this house for me to live in this while I tend to my studies. They didn't buy it outright. Buying a home such as this for 3 years education will be wasteful, even from my parents' perspective. But they have sucked in a considerable sum of money into it over the last couple of years. It all seems a bit excessive to me. But my parents are excessive people. They've always had more than money than sense. I remember you saying that once before. You said your parents were rich, didn't you? Yes, indeed, they were incredibly well off. I've only been in Hiyori's home a few minutes, but I can believe that. My parents would never be able to afford putting me up in a house like this. Hiyori's parents might have bought this place, but renting in Tokyo isn't cheap. Like, it's really expensive. My cruddy apartment costs an eye-watering sum as it is. I can't even begin to imagine how much this house must be. It's strange, Hiyori does dress or act like a wealthy young lady, but I suppose she must be. Should I start curtsying to her from now on and calling her milady? It's a funny enough thought, but I don't think Hiyori would appreciate it. She looks unusually troubled, sitting on her sleek modern couch, her fingers curled on her lap. This might be her home, but she looks even stiffer than I feel. I guess she's not comfortable to all these luxurious trappings despite growing up among them. Hiyori is far more relaxed when she's in the rundown astronomy club room. Could that be why she spends so much time here? The astronomy club is more soothing, I'll admit that, than this place. Fancy though this living room is a bit too pristine. The walls and the floors and the furnishings are so neat and tidy, it looks like something you find in a magazine. There's no warmth in here at all. I can't see any personal effects scattered about either. The atmosphere is uncomfortably chilly. I told my parents I'd be fine living in an apartment complex like most of my fellow students, but they wouldn't hear of it. They were afraid I would. I don't know if I get robbed maybe, or that I would get into fights with my housemates. I suppose that's because I never fit in during high school. My parents thought I would be best off on my own, away from everybody else. Maybe they were right, but I'll never know that now. Hiyori sighs. Having a house like this to myself has its perks, certainly, but it can be somewhat lonely. I envy you, Haru. Having Kyoichi and the others to speak to, you're never alone. Oh, I don't know if my position is all that inevitable. Kyoichi and the others can't stand me. I don't think that's true. That they might be a bit raucous, and that's putting it lightly. But you seem to get on well enough. You're always horsing around, aren't you? I guess so, maybe. Hiyori sighs again. I would have loved to live somewhere with other girls whom I'd befriend. I've been rather lonely living in this house all on my own. My parents say this for my own good, but what did they do? I'm not entirely certain that they are my real parents. They've always spoiled me ever since I can remember. They used to buy me toys and pretty dress, and now they buy me fancy electronic gadgets and they pay my rent. I never wanted for anything, but it's always felt like they're overcompensating. You mean you think they're going to buy your affection? That's exactly. They're far more generous than other parents would be, because they're not my parents. I'm certain I'm adopted. I've not seen any proof, not with my own eyes, but my parents get awfully cagey whenever I bring the subject up. It's suspicious. I wish they'd be honest with me. I'm 20 years old after all, but... A yawn from Anna punctuates Hiyori's complaints. Hiyori looks at Anna abashed. Anna is sitting next to me on the couch. I sort against my sides. Her eyelashes are mated, and it looks like she's fast asleep. My, Hiyori smiles. I'm afraid all my talk wasn't bored her. She's out for the count. I don't think Anna's bored. She's just tired. We did do a lot of walking today. She must have tired herself out. I suppose so. There is more I wish to discuss with you, Haru, but first we should probably put Anna to bed. There's a guest room upstairs with a nice soft bed. I'm sure she'll fit right at the home there. I think we should be able to carry her together if you don't mind helping me. Of course not. Up you get, Anna. I hold the comatose Anna to her feet, who murmurs something incoherent and curls up against my shoulder. With Hiyori's help, I guide Anna up the stairs and into one of Hiyori's bedrooms. Apparently, she has two. The pair of us lay Anna upon the bed, then draw the covers up beneath her chin. She doesn't stir at all the while. Despite our jostling, her eyes remain shut, her breathing soft and regular. She really must be exhausted. With Anna safely tucked up in bed, Hiyori and I then return to the living room. Hiyori offers brew some tea, to which I accept. Hiyori then heads to the kitchen while I sit in the neat, seemingly unused living room all alone. Hiri's house might be gorgeous, but there's something awfully staid about it. I don't think I like it very much. Hiri's perfect living room is so quiet it borders on the sinister. Hiri must feel horribly alone living in an isolated place like this. I wonder if there's something I could do to cheer her up. I'm pondering this I ponder this when Hiri returns from the kitchen. A tray in hand. Upon the tray are 2 cups of freshly brewed tea, exuding heat, and a teapot. Here you are, Haru. Sorry for keeping you waiting. Yeah. Well, right now, this is the end of today's video, everyone. So thank you everyone for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.